Alright guys, in the last video I know I said I wasn't going to rebuild my forks because I thought they were good. Well, they're not. I was looking at them closely and then there was like some sealing around the fork seals, which that should not be. There's a couple other things I wasn't happy about. So now we are going to rebuild our forks, and today that is what we are doing. So come on in and let's join. So the first thing I need to do is find my forks, then get all the pieces together and disassemble, and then reassemble everything correctly. So let's get to it. All right, fork. I need a fork. Forks, we need our forks. No, that's too small. That's too big. Hold on, wrong thing. Okay, well, I did find the right forks this time. So here they are, and now I just need to disassemble them. I will start by removing this top nut here, I think, and then I think all this just kind of slides apart from what I understand. I could be wrong. We will see. I do have the Norman White restoration manual, so that helps me out a lot. I've never disassembled Commando forks before, so I could be doing all this completely wrong. We'll find out. I'm sure everybody on the internet knows better than me, but that's okay. I'm here to learn and hopefully build these back better than they were before. Alright, on this table here are all the parts that I need to rebuild my forks, reassemble them. I've got progressive springs here, a little bit of an upgrade. Just stuff everywhere. I'm not even sure what I've got. Some bushings there, some more here, washers here. The tops, I think I've got some new ones of these that look a little bit better. So I've got fork seals in this box here. I've got stuff everywhere, so we're just going to rebuild these and just do a better part. So, alright guys, so my first fork I've taken all apart. It all just kind of pulled apart is much easier than what I'm used to using or used to pulling apart. I'm used to pulling apart Honda forks, and those are a bit more difficult. But what I found is interesting is this bushing is the bushing that was in there, and this is the replacement. And everything I can find has the shorter bushings, so I will be putting it back together with the shorter one in here. That's kind of interesting to me. But it's time to start getting these back together. I don't have any SAE 20 oil, so I did have to order some. I thought I had some around, or I thought the stores would also have some in stock around me, but they do not. So that's something that's kind of delaying me a little bit from getting these completely 100% back together, but I can go and start the first assembly on that. So here we go. So here's the old spring, and then here I've got the progressive spring. You can see the old one's a little bit shorter, and the progressive does get a bit tighter wound on one end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the tighter wound part facing up. Progressive says it doesn't matter, but I'm do it facing up because that way you won't displace as much oil. We can also see this is not as tightly wound down here, but it is tightly wound at the top. It's kind of interesting. Alright, well, it's time to start assembling the first fork, and then I'll pull the second one apart and start assembling that one. Also, I've got these cool little parts that go right here to hold in, because I'm not using the fork boots anymore. I'm not using the gaiters. I'm using just a older style Commando style gaiter because of the triple clamps I'm going with, so I can't use the gaiter. So I've got these cool little bits right here from, I can't remember who. I think it was Colorado Norton Works. They have these that screw in that hold the fork seals in, so it's kind of a cool bit. Alright guys, so I've cleaned everything very well. There's a few things I didn't get apart. Like this didn't want to come off. I didn't want to mess the back end of this up by trying to force it off, so I couldn't get this bushing off. I got to put the circlip back on. So I've got to work on that, and I've got to get all this back together. So I'll first start with this dampener rod here. Got it part as it would go. There's a few more bits on it right here, but I think they're fine. They're not really wear items, so I should be good with this. And the first thing I have to do is put this little fiber washer on the bottom end down here. And I'm going to use some grease just to make that stick. Alright guys, now that we've got this clean, so on the tail end here, hopefully this will focus, I'm going to put the fiber washer on here with a dab of grease. Just put a little bit on there to hold it into place. Put the washer on the end. Then we're going to put it into position down here. It slides in just perfectly. And this will screw on top. Screw onto here. And then all I have to do is tighten this down. Okay, now that this is together, I can start assembling the rest of this. So I need to put a circlip on the bottom down here, as you can see right there, or a snap ring. And this should be moving freely, which it does, so that's good. Then I just have to get the rest of this fork together. So that's going to go on there. Bushing goes down into position. To kind of press it in here with the screwdriver. There we go. And then we just have to put our, I got one more seal in here. I think there's a paper washer that goes into here, and then the seal. And that's it. These are quite easy forks to do. Then obviously the fork spring as well. They're not too difficult. Alright guys, so I have to put the paper washer on here gently so I don't tear it. I don't know if you guys can see, there we go. I'm just going to work that down with the flathead screwdriver, because my fingers will not fit down into here. Alright, now that that's in position, I just need to put my new fork seal on here. And I can see the old one had this part facing up, so I'll do that. So this part is going to face down. Put it into position. And just work it down into position. There we go. Just like that. I'm going to use this old collar here, the old bushing anyway, to just get my fork seal into place and I don't damage it that way. And I think we're good. So the next thing is to install this. That's going to retain the fork seal. Don't know why that's stuck. So I'm going to slide this on top. And it screws into place like so. It's going to help drive that fork seal a little bit further down into position and retain it. So all I need to do is tighten this up. Then I have to put my fork spring in the top, but I'm going to wait until my fork oil comes in, and I will do that after my fork oil comes in, because once I got the spring there, it's a bit harder to get my fork oil into place. So I'm going to wait on that, but that's all there is to rebuilding these forks. They're quite simple. Alright guys, I've got this bit on here. I'm not sure what we're going to call it, but all I have left is to put on our dust cover here. So I'm going to slide that on top. It looks like I'm going to have to work it over this. This dust cover is a bit more plasticky than I was expecting it to be. I thought it'd be a bit more rubber feeling. Kind of all it's wanting to fit on there easily, but I'm going to see if I can't work it on over this. And that look a little bit cleaner, I think. What I'm going to try to do is, since it doesn't want to go the way I think it should go, I'm going to boil this in some hot water, and that should give me a little bit more elasticity here with this dust cover, and I can get it on the way I think it should go. Alright, so I got a pot of hot water, I had it on there, and so far I've escaped detection from the missus, so that's good. And that seems a whole lot more pliable now. There we go. Haha! And that worked the trick. It got the dust cover on in place the way it should be, and I didn't break anything. So a pot of hot water, not quite boiling, worked for me. So cheers to hot water. Alright guys, well, if you like this quick little video on just rebuilding my Norton Commando forks, it's quite simple. As you can see, there's not many moving parts. I think we'll be in good position with these. So if you like it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, things like that. And also I have got t-shirts on my website at motohomeless.com, so be sure to check that out. That helps me buy these parts, helps get the word out too. So thank you for that. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and you guys, you have a great day.